Welcome to the Reconnection Club podcast, the show that helps parents heal troubled relationships with their adult sons and daughters. I'm your host, psychotherapist Tina Gilbertson. Each week, I'll offer you compassion, clarity, and personal development tips designed to help you reconnect, not only with your child, but with yourself. Now let's get started. If you've been estranged from your adult child or children for any length of time, you've probably had that uncomfortable experience of feeling like you should do something, but you don't know what to do. Maybe you sent your adult child a nice note of apology and they haven't responded. Should you follow up? If so, how long should you wait before doing that? And what exactly should you say? Your adult child may be scheduled to attend a family gathering for the first time in a long time. What should you do to prepare for that? If your young adult is about to fall off your insurance, should you contact them, despite having received a clear request for no contact? For parents experiencing unwanted estrangement from their adult children, the what to do questions are many and difficult. Whenever you notice yourself wondering what to do and not feeling up to the task of figuring that out, here's a step-by-step plan that might make it a little bit easier. First, press the pause button. There's almost always time to step out of problem-solving mode for a moment and just breathe and get your bearings. Notice in these moments how you're feeling, physically as well as mentally. Put words to your experience, like, I feel tense and anxious and I can't stop my brain spinning about what to do. And then, for a moment, just be with that tension, that need for solutions, and remember yourself. Remember that you're not the tension you're feeling, you're not the urgency, and you're not the painful confusion. You're the person experiencing those. It might be that you don't actually have to do anything at all right now. Unless something is on fire, problem solving can usually wait for a few minutes. And you might say, but I've been waiting and I still don't know. When do I figure this out? The point of this time out and breathing and centering is to pull yourself away from a close-up of the question to a wider view of the whole picture. If you overfocus on this one event or this one need that you currently have, you might hamper your long-term strategy for reconnection, because the needs of a given moment sometimes conflict with what's required to reach the ultimate goal. For information about using a strategy to guide your reconnection, listen to episode 144, What's Your Strategy? That's at reconnectionclub.com/144. One example of a conflict between momentary needs and overall strategy is the parent's desire for contact in a situation where all that's needed to vastly improve the relationship is psychological separation. That does not describe every estrangement. I'm talking about a specific example here where the only type of accusation leveled against you, or that you can reasonably infer, is that you've been over-involved, haven't allowed enough psychological space, or that you've been, in a word, enmeshed with your child or children. For more about this fairly common problem, listen to episodes 149 and 150, From Enmeshment to Estrangement. In the specific circumstance where enmeshment is the problem and psychological space is the solution, your strategy might be simply to give them the space they need, not to send an apology, not to initiate any contact, and not to prolong contact when they reach out to you. While you're allowing space in that relationship, your strategy may involve cultivating closer connections nearby so that you're not without the affection, belonging, and companionship that all of us need. Estrangement isn't always just a matter of adult children needing space. Sometimes there are repairs to be made before they can safely reconnect. So the strategy I just described is emphatically not the only one. But let's go back to this parent following the simple but not easy strategy of giving space to respond to a problem of enmeshment. Imagine you're that parent. The strategy's been going okay. You've been focusing on getting your needs for connection and belonging met in other relationships, but it's just not the same. So one day you feel a strong urge to reach out to your estranged adult child. You wonder, what harm could it do to send a quick text? It's just a cute picture of Sparky or something you know they would like. So what's the problem? The mere fact that you're hesitating suggests you believe the impulse to be somewhat problematic. So what do? You become still. You breathe. You find yourself. Then you review your strategy and tactics. Give space. Respond only when necessary. Don't initiate or prolong contact. Cultivate other relationships to help meet emotional needs. There's nothing in your documentation that says send texts occasionally. So reviewing your reconnection plan tells you what to do to meet your ultimate goal of reconnecting. In this specific case, the strategy is to heal enmeshment by allowing space and focusing on yourself, giving your adult child room to reconnect with you on their own terms and timeline. So rather than sending that text you were considering, you might decide to wait for the urge to pass, to send the picture to someone else, to have a cleansing cry, or possibly to reach out to a caring friend for a nice distracting walk, or to your therapist for help processing the anxiety, grief, or whatever else may come up for you as you wrestle with this impulse. The idea is to help yourself stop ruminating over options that put your goals in jeopardy. Take them off the table instead and deal with the emotions that are left in their place. Whenever you don't know what to do during estrangement, step one is always to breathe and get grounded. As an alternative to wondering what to do, ask yourself what just happened. Where did this impulse to do something come from? Was it boredom? Were you feeling lonely, fearful, or bad about yourself? Did you receive mail addressed to your adult child? Review any external or internal stimuli that may have triggered the present urge to do something. Then, back away from the close-up view and gain a wider perspective by reviewing your strategy. What are the steps in your reconnection plan? What do you need to do in order to follow those steps? Let your future goals guide your decisions in the present by having a well-formed plan consisting of thoughtful steps. Until next time, remember that you are a loving, lovable, and still growing human being. So please take good care of yourself. Bye for now. If you've enjoyed this episode of the Reconnection Club podcast, I invite you to check out ReconnectionClub.com. The Reconnection Club is for parents at any stage of estrangement from their adult, child, or children. So whether you've just realized there's trouble between you, you've been living with estrangement for years, or you're newly reconciled but still walking on eggshells, the Reconnection Club is your essential resource for information, support, and continued personal growth. With our courses and workshops, expert interviews, monthly Q&A calls, and a friendly, active community, the Reconnection Club is a wonderful place to be for anyone suffering the pain of estrangement from an adult, child, or children. So check it out at ReconnectionClub.com.